Hi everyone, I'm Michael.
And I'm Kira.
And this is Continuity 360, your nerd and geek video podcast.
And we're here at Missions, New York.
Yes, it's the first Star Trek convention in New York City in quite some time.
And hosted by Reed Pop. In the Javits Center.
In the Javits Center, the same company that does New York Comic Con and a bunch of other conventions around the world, actually.
Yeah.
And we're going to be talking to Trekkies today about their experience here and their favorite times throughout the convention. So
yeah, should be a good time.
This is your first day here, right?
Yes, just got here like an hour ago. But
and how's that been so far?
It's good. It's a very different experience than Comic Con. It's it's smaller, so it's only in basically that artist alley room pretty much and downstairs. But I love the quality of the content that's here. I can tell you the shopping is very nice, and the setup for the bridge is excellent, the TOS bridge. And oh my gosh, the video gaming section is amazing. They have Bridge Crew with the Ubisoft VR.
The virtual reality, yeah.
So good.
You tried it already?
I haven't tried it yet because you have to have 5 people. You have to have a whole Bridge Crew to try it. But I'm really excited.
We could probably get some people together, and maybe share with you guys what that's like. So last night, I was here yesterday, and they screened Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan in 4K. You hear sounds that you just never heard before. And super cool was Nicholas Meyer did a Q&A talking all about the development of the film. And even better than that, while he was waiting for his ride, we ran into him, and he very graciously did a picture with us. So that was the highlight of yesterday. But,
that's sweet. Oh, wait, you also had a panel.
Yes, I was on a costuming panel. I almost forgot that with a couple other friends, and we were talking about different ways to do Starfleet costumes, how to make them, how to do stuff on a budget. And it was a lot of fun. So
good.
Cool.
Yeah.
So we'll see everybody inside.
Yeah. Bye. So Jacqueline, can you tell us where you got this amazing costume?
Sure. This was actually commissioned for me. I commissioned it from a seamstress in the New York City area.
Oh, nice.
I provided the material. This is actually the screen-used fabric that was used in season 1.
Oh my God, no way!
And this is the rank braiding, which I bought on Etsy and added to it. It's actually from, Craft Fabrics. It's in LA. It's the same company that, provided it then, and they still manufacture it in limited batches.
Oh, that's so cool.
Which I was really intense about getting the right color because it's a weird color. On screen it looks a lot more blue, and in person it's actually this weird teal. So especially with the season 1 fabric, it changes color in the light so much that I just wanted to find the original. So I trolled until I got that one. Worked with the seamstress to correct the pattern since it was kind of a mess, and produced this cosplay.
Oh, congrats, it's great. And the seamstress was New York, you said?
Yes, New York based.
How'd you find her?
On Craigslist, actually. I had tried working through it myself, and I had actually come up with a mock-up of it, but some of the seams weren't really lining up right, so I mostly just needed somebody to work with to make sure that I could figure out what was wrong with the pattern, because it was beyond me, and we worked together to put this one together.
Wow, very nicely done. It looks beautiful.
Thank
you. It's so funny how the color is different, but you can tell it's the exact dress.
It's very strange. It's just a lighting thing, and I didn't even realize it until I started doing a lot of research and going on forums and looking into it, and it just blew my mind.
Yeah, well done.
Thank you.
Very well done.
Thank you.
I am here with Brittany, who came all the way from Missouri to volunteer at Star Trek Missions New York, and we just wanted to talk to her for a minute about what the experience is like volunteering at this convention.
I worked in autograph the whole time, so I did meet a lot of the celebrities.
Who's your favorite celebrity to meet?
Terry
Farrell. Did she ask about me, or is...
Yeah, just like Kate did,
checking. Right, exactly. So what would you recommend to people who are thinking about volunteering at a convention?
They should do it. I mean, it's really awesome. This was my first one ever, so do it. It's fun.
Cool. So would you recommend doing volunteering or working for the convention in the future?
I would. It's amazing fun. Met a lot of cool people. A lot more new Facebook friends now.
Okay, cool. So definitely think about it. Obviously, you heard it from her. Working for the convention can be a fun time.
Very fun, yes.
Awesome. And how do people sign up to do that?
I just found it on the Mission New York site.
Okay.
So cool. I would assume just New York Comic Con.
Okay,
or
awesome.
whatever else.
Awesome. So check it out and volunteer. Thanks so much for your time.
No problem.
So we're here on the last day of Star Trek Mission New York, and one of the neat things is the stories that people have about why they decided to come to the convention. And for some people, it was their first convention. We met Holly today, and she had probably the most unique story of what got her to Star Trek Mission New York, and I would love it if you could share it for our audience.
Yes, so I actually have kind of a goofy story. I'd been wanting to go to a convention for a little while, but I found out about this one because I was actually on a dating app, and my little profile says, "We'll provide oomachs on demand."
And so, oomachs, for people who don't know, is a Ferengi
ear-tickling, erogenous.
Yeah, a pleasure that Ferengi engage in. So it said, yes. What did it say again?
We'll provide oomachs on demand.
Oomachs on demand. And what happened next? How does a dating app result in you coming to a Star Trek convention?
Well, I matched with someone whose first message to me was, "I see that you're a Star Trek fan. Just so you know, there's a convention going on in New York this weekend." And I didn't message him back, but I gave him a mental thank you, and I looked up the convention and bought my ticket. So.
Wow. So the interesting piece is that your use of the dating app actually drove you away from a potential relationship and further into the depths of nerddom at a Star Trek convention.
Here to stay.
Despite that, what was your experience?
Well, I was a little bit intimidated because it was my first convention. I did come alone, so I drove up 2 hours, wore my costume in public, all by myself. But actually, it was amazing. I first stepped in, and seeing everyone in their costumes made me feel so much more at home. And I got excited because everyone was obviously so into it, and everyone wanted to take pictures, so that made me feel invited and included as well. And just seeing everyone's passion and all of these arts and everything really just drove home to me how this is kind of more of a movement than just a TV show.
And that's really a great thing that you're kind of highlighting, is that this is the first time that they've had a Star Trek convention in New York for several decades, and yet despite whether the conventions are in Las Vegas, like the ones that most of us go to a lot, this one's new in New York. You're new to the convention. Despite that, the common themes of community and friendship and fellowship are all still, it sounds like it's very relevant, very apparent to you as well. So.
Yes, absolutely. No, it was wonderful, and I think New York is great because it's a good convergence point. Everyone can get here, everything you need is here, so I think it's a smart place to have a convention.
Okay, cool. And if you could give our viewers any advice, if they're in shoes like yourself, coming to a convention by themselves for the first time, what would you recommend?
I would say, there are some certain things you can skip, like taking out the trash. You can't skip experiences.
Okay.
And even though I was intimidated, I knew that the experience was going to be worth any nervousness I might have felt. So just go for it and be yourself. You'll be fine. You'll find like minds like yourself, and you'll have fun.
Great.
Just go.
Great, thank you. And so you definitely plan on being at the next one, at another one?
I think you'll see me again.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Live long and prosper.